Yes, and welcome to Monday Bible Study. I'm only going to do John today, so we will be synced up with the same column. Tomorrow will be column 2 out of my dad's old King James Bible. So I ended up I put the time in that I didn't do teaching, just sharing a lot of stuff on my Facebook. Very interesting stuff. The Twin Towers, and one rises back up called the One World Trade Tower. And you trust the news? You trust anything? The Twin Towers, the two Trumps.
If you're tired of hearing solar companies tell
when the two Trumps go down, that will be the war.
need to switch.
Gentlemen, Oreo has rejected my bid to buy the DSRL, so we lick race for it right here with double stuffed gold.
Mr. Trump, my brother and I are the defending champions. Let's be honest, you don't even have a partner.
No, I've got a partner.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Me? No way. It's double Trump.
And we're gonna be huge.
Double Trump. The Twin Towers. So that was a very, very, very deep satanic ritual that took place on good old American soil. When he says Napoleon, Alexander the Great, and Donald Trump were all cut from the same cloth, remember there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he come, he must continue a short space. That's the Antichrist. The beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition, because the 8th is the returning Trump by the wound, by the sword, but did live, twins, clone. There are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. The way it's worded, you can take it as, let's see exactly how it's worded again. Five of the 7 are fallen. Yeah, I think that's what I finished with. That's Darius the Mede, straight out of Daniel, the book of Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar, straight out of the book of Daniel. They both loved Daniel, and they both loved his God. So they are not fallen. They are not goats. Alexander the Great, Napoleon. And then, of course, the 8th is of the 7 because it's the twin. It's the double. Let's just get on with it. What's he talking about?
Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump. Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump. Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump. We're all cut from the same cloth, and that cloth is very, very large.
So I think you get the idea with that. I've been having a little fun today. From his own YouTube site, the billionaire from Gotham, meaning Goat Town, who in the movie The Dark Knight Rises, he's thought to be dead, but he comes back out of the pit to save Gotham. All the world's a stage. Snap out of it.
Yes.
Mr. Trump,
Yes,
are you Batman?
I am Batman.
That's his own YouTube site, Trump Ownership. When you go to the YouTube site,
Out of the labor force, we have 50.
they are even selling his steaks. Trump steaks, the sharper image. I also spoke of when you talk about straight is the gate and narrow is the way, just read those two verses in Matthew 7:13 and 14. More than likely, most goats have never, ever even seen a sheep, let alone talked to one or had a conversation with one or been friends with one. Check this out. Don't think the NFL's rigged?
Did you know that the average adult has 5 to 20 pounds of toxic poop in their body at any given moment?
We can only hope so.
What's this guy doing?
Straight is the gate and narrow is the way, and few be that find it.
I can't get through the gate. The gate is narrow.
Got it. Thank you. All the world's a stage. You trust these people? So what are we hearing about the poke? People are sticking magnets where they got poked, and the magnets are sticking. They're electromagnetic fields, just like we told everybody. There's nanotechnology in the poke, and nanotechnology connects to 5G technology. People that have taken the poke are connected to the technology. You got to love it. Today, we're just going to read John in the Authorized King James. From now on, just going to go ahead and do it ahead of time so don't waste your time anymore with it. But you understand, Pilate was added and saith unto them, they just told you who it was. Crucify is what it says, but they added him, crucify him. And one more time, crucify him. Down here, thou couldst have no power against me. Thou couldst have no power at all against me. At all was added. Pilate went outside again and said to the people, I'm going to bring him out to you now, but understand clearly that I find him not guilty. Then Jesus came out wearing a crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate said, look, here is the man. When they saw him, the leading priests and the temple guards began shouting, crucify him, crucify him. Take him yourselves and crucify him. Pilate said, I find him not guilty. The Jewish leaders replied, by our law, he ought to die. Yeah, I feel like we read this yesterday, but this is what it says to read today. Jewish leaders, by our law, he ought to die because he called himself Son of God. When Pilate heard this, he was more frightened than ever. Yeah, we didn't read this, but it was a lot like this. He took Jesus back to the headquarters again and asked him, where are you from? Jesus gave no answer. Why don't you talk to me? Pilate demanded. Don't you realize I have the power to release you or crucify you? Jesus said, and keep this in mind because this is with all of you. You would have no power over me at all unless it were given to you from above. So the one who handed me over to you has the greater sin. Then Pilate tried to release him, but the Jewish leaders shouted, if you release this man, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who declares himself a king is a rebel against Caesar. Pilate therefore went forth again and saith unto him, behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Then Jesus came forth, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, and Pilate saith unto them, behold the man. When the chief priests therefore and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, crucify him, crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, take ye him and crucify him yourself, for I find no fault in him. The Jews answered him, we have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was more afraid. And I started daydreaming because I thought, why don't you highlight the italicized words in yellow? I don't know. So I shouldn't have been daydreaming. That's why I'm not reading very well. Let's get back to focus. Jews answered him, saying, we have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself Son of God. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid. and went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Jesus, Whence art thou? But Jesus gave him no answer. Then saith Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest not that I have power to crucify thee, and have the power to release thee? Jesus answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him, but the Jews cried out, saying, If thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh himself a king speaketh against Caesar. So that is it for the day. I think I will start doing that. That's New Living. When I highlight them, what I'll do is go back over and highlight them in the King James, and that will be in the color yellow. And I'll save the other colors from now on, for non-italicized words that I just want to highlight. All right, love y'all very much. Thank you. Ask questions anytime.